Hello there, it's Carrie Rhodes here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel and another card making video. Today I am playing with the Glimmer Hot Foil Kit of the Month for May 2021 from Spellbinders. This is the Spot On Background and Sentiments set, and I'm going to show you 3 ways to use it. Here you can see the entire kit. There are dies on the right that die cut, and there are Glimmer Hot Foil plates on the left, and it comes with polished brass foil, which I'm using right here. I'm also going to show you this quick trimmer that I like to use from Spellbinders to cut my foil. It has a self-healing mat, it has this cutting plate, and then it comes with blades that you can use to cut foil or paper. So I'm kind of using it sideways right here just to cut a length of foil off, and then I can turn it and use it this way to cut it into strips that are going to perfectly fit the polka dotted background that I want to Glimmer Hot Foil on my first card. So there's the strip. I'm going to put this diagonally on my card right here. This is going to be a mini slimline card. So this panel is about 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. I'm going to put a shim down as I put this on my Glimmer Hot Foil system. I put the plates on top of the shim and then push the timer. And when the timer goes off, I run it through my die cut machine. And the die cut machine is pressing that hot plate into the foil, which is putting that pattern into the paper. Now it's really hot, so I'm using this new tool from Spellbinders to pick that up, and then as a button to release the magnet. It's perfect. So there's my background number 1, and while my machine is still hot, I'm going to hot foil some of these sentiments from this kit. There are these little plates that create 1 sentiment. So these 3 pieces will be put together to create 1 sentiment. So I'm putting that with the Glimmer Hot Foil plate down onto my hot glimmer system and pressing the timer. When that's done, run it through my die machine, and then we'll see what these sentiments look like. You can see I've taped everything in place. I really find having some low-tack tape like this yellow tape from Spellbinders helps a lot. Now I had a little bit of over foiling there, some foil where I don't want it. I'm using a sanding eraser to take that away, and it worked perfectly. Now I'm using the dies from this set to die cut out these sentiments. One thing you need to always be super careful of when die cutting hot foiling is not to let the tape touch the hot foiled image, or it could remove some of that shiny goodness. This is the clear stamp set of the month, and I am using this sentiment from it for my card today. I'm going to stamp it out with pink diamond ink from Altenew, and it'll go in that top left corner, and it says, "Hello, sweet friend." Such a great set to have. Now, these little circles that I am putting inside of the hot foiled circles are a die in this set. So I die cut from pink and from some gold glitter paper, and I love this look. So for this card, my technique is to use different colors of paper inside of those circles and put them down randomly. So that's what I'm doing for this mini slimline card. And that will be a fun look for like a playful card. And the next card will have a completely different look. So I'm going to trim off this one that hangs off the edge. I like having one that hangs off the edge. It just gives it more of a symmetrical look. Then you might have noticed on this card, I had a spot that didn't hot foil. My foil was not all the way under my plate. That's what happened. So I just strategically placed my "You Are One in a Million" sentiment that I hot foiled right over that, and now you'll never know. So there is my mini slimline card, and I am loving this. And I think I told you the wrong size of that white paper. It's actually 3 1/4 by 5 3/4. And then for card number 2, I am making a slimline card. And I am going to hot foil this plate 2 times. So once in the top left corner, and you can see it's hanging off the edge just a little bit. I like that look where things are off the edge because it looks like you cut it from a bigger piece. So once that's ran through the die machine, we can peel that off, and you can see how this polished brass looks on some navy cardstock. So good. I love it. I'm in love with this polished brass foil, by the way. I want polished brass embossing folder or embossing powder. I think that would be so gorgeous. It just has a little bit more yellow to it. So there you can see it foiled 2 times for a fun look on this card. I'm going for more of a maybe even masculine look for this card, or it's also has somewhat of an elegant feel. I'm not sure. You tell me what you think. So I'm hot foiling some sentiments. Again, you can see how I taped the foil in place, then I taped the plates to it, and the hot foil, the foil itself will always go pretty side up. So for this card, I am taking my die cut circles and gluing them on tone in a pattern. So they're just going right down the middle, and that is going to give it more of a elegant look. And with the tone on tone in navy, excuse me, I feel that it is also somewhat of a masculine feel for this card. I'm going to do that on both sides, leaving some open circles on either side of the row that I'm adhering. And I love, love this look. You can see it here up close. It's kind of a 3D look, very subtle, but adds a little extra something. Now for the sentiment, I'm going to mount it onto some glitter paper, but this glitter paper is going over some texture. So I'm using some double-sided tape as well as glue on both of these pieces because glitter paper is also textured. Then I'll just trim off the excess. And by the way, that stamped happy birthday is also from that clear stamp set of the month. And then for the sentiment on this card, I hot foiled. This card is full of paper hugs. So the paper hugs are going to be these die cut hearts I cut from that same glitter paper. And once I have my card front mounted to my slimline card base, which is 8.5 by 3.5, then I can put these hearts inside the card. So when the recipient opens up this card, all these glittery hearts are going to come falling out. And those are the paper hugs, right? Okay, that's card number 2. On to card number 3. We're kind of jumping right in the middle of this because sometimes I do forget to push the record button. So I'm going to show you how I did this in just a minute, but we're just going to move forward. And now for this one, I'm not using that die at all. I'm actually using a blue gel pen and doing some doodling. I did doodling in a recent video and I kind of loved it. So I thought these circles would be really fun to doodle on. So I'm sticking with that pink and brass and navy color scheme. So I picked out this blue gel pen from my stash and I'm using that on the inside of these circles. One thing I can tell you is you want to start with the circles farthest away from you and work towards you so that you don't smear any. I did pretty good, but I had to be really careful. So I'm just doing kind of a cross hatch, very scratchy, and maybe this isn't for everyone, but I kind of like this look. So here's how I did the whole entire panel. I'm just going to show you on this little scrap. I'm using the hinge method, which Yana from Spellbinders, she invented it. And I use it all the time. So you want to tape the plate down so you can open and close it like a hinge, and then put the foil underneath and then close it back down. So that's a really good technique to have in your arsenal for Glimmer Hot Foiling. And then when you want to line it up again, you can use the same method, because if you put the foil right down on the paper, you're not going to be able to see where to line up your plate. So I've lined it up. I'm going to hold it down and add my tape as a hinge. I'm going to do that in 2 places, and I'm also going to tape my paper down too so it doesn't move. Then I can come in, add my hot foil pretty side up, and then close that glimmer plate down on it. And I do want to tape this in place as best I can without going over the top of the foil. So put that face down. I added a shim and my plates, and I added the shim because the foil and the plate hang off the paper and it would have hot foiled onto my plates, and I didn't want that, so that's why I added the shim. All right, so there it was. That was how I did that repeating background. Now I'm taking the last 3 pieces to create a sentiment. This time I'm not going to die cut them separately. I want to have them as one long long sentiment. So I just butted them up against each other. I used my T-square ruler to make sure it was nice and straight, and then tape it in place. And I mean, I might have gone a little overboard with the tape, but I really wanted it to maintain its straightness. So there it is. Hope you find this. I hope this card finds you well. And then I'm bringing out another hot foil sentiment. It's a Christmas sentiment set, but it has this really cool banner die or strip die that die cuts holes along the top and the bottom. And I just thought that was a really fun added touch for this. So that's the die I used to cut it, so all of those words were straight and together. Another sentiment from the clear stamp set of the month for this card. It says, I hug you with all my heart every day. Such a sweet sentiment. So I'm going to stamp that with some navy ink, and then I'm going to put this card all together. So first I am adhering down that sentiment strip, and then I did die cut a heart from some gold foil or gold mirror paper, and that is just so shiny and fun. Next I am going to round the edges of this sentiment with my corner rounder, and then I'll stick that down and angle that. I thought it looked really fun like this. And then I'm bringing out some more of those hearts with that glitter paper and adhering those in and around my sentiment. I'm going to add this down to a note card, and that will finish off card number 3. So it's just really fun to play with this polka dot background. I love polka dots, so to Glimmer Hot Foil polka dots is always one of my favorites. And I thought those 3 ideas might not be enough, so here's 2 more bonus ideas. I'm not making a card, but just showing you, you could glue down other die cut shapes inside those circles, or if you had a really small image, you could stamp inside them. So this is just the little leaves from that clear stamp set that I had out on my desk. So 2 more ideas for you. Stamp in them or add different shapes inside those circles. I hope that you have fun with your Glimmer Hot Foil Kit of the Month. If you're new to the Kit of the Month idea from Spellbinders, they have so many clubs. They have large die, small die, card kit of the month, the clear stamp of the month, so many fun things. So I'm going to link all that for you below so you can check it out. And I will see you all again very soon on the next video. Happy stamping! Bye!